Today we are going to do a little bit more in our 3D platformer level. As you can see here, I'm in our little scene. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to edit this dude. We're going to go ahead and add in some wandering logic to him, so he's not just walking or not just standing around doing absolutely nothing. You know what I'm talking about. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and make it so when they are idle, they're going to go ahead and just walk in random directions. So, but we don't want them to like wander too far off from their original position. So what we're going to have to do is come up with a way to take our position and wander around that, walk around it. So first things first is we need to find a way to store our position. Well, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and get gadgets, logic processing, and a signal manipulator, because that's how we are able to store things pretty easily. And what we're actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a microchip right now before I forget, and I'm going to go ahead and label this as just wander. Give it a good color and icon. And I'm going to go ahead and get a node, and this is going to go ahead and be our transform. And the transform, if you don't know, is the rotation and position of a object. It's also the scale, but the scale doesn't matter most of the time. I'm going to go ahead and put our signal manipulator on this microchip. And we're going to get the transform from our enemy tag over here. Scene space transform. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And it's rotated incorrectly, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Y is up and Z is forward. And X is left and right, basically. Alright, and now that we have that, we only want to save the position. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to get a splitter. Because as you can see, this wire is a fat wire, so it has multiple wires in it. And we want that translation, which is our position. Alright, and now, so since we want to freeze the translation, we're going to go and plug that into our signal manipulator. And I want to get a timer, because I want to instantly freeze this position. I want to always know what this position is. Basically, what this allows us to do is place these guys around the map, and as soon as we place them down and hit play, it will mark it as that position always, as in it's always going to wander around that position even if you walk away. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the timer target time to just 0.1 seconds. And we want the full output timer finish signal, because we always want to know, we always want this to be frozen. So I'm going to go ahead and get that timer finish signal, plug it into our freeze output. So now when we start time, it's going to go ahead and freeze this. So basically store our position, and completely forgot that there's sounds in this guy. We also want to know when we are idling, so I'm going to copy this a node here. Just rename it to idling, or just idle. I'm going to give it this icon. Alright. So now we know where we are, and we know if we're idling. I'm going to go and just plug in this NOT gate, because that's what that NOT gate's for. And when we're idling, what do we want to do? Well, we want to just walk around. We could do this a few ways. We can make it so our puppet just walks in a random direction until it's too far from this position, and then we're going to go ahead and have it just turn around or turn a random amount. And or we could have a more complicated system to get a random point and walk to that, and then wait for a little bit, and then continue walking at a random point. And since that one's the best one, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, it does involve a bunch of math, so I'm going to go ahead and get a logic piece that I have published, and this thing is just going to give us a random point on a plane, and it's basically a bunch of math. So yeah, it's not particularly easy to recreate. As you can see, it's math. So I would prefer if we just use this instead of making it from scratch. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and get our... So randomize, basically, every single time we want to get in a point. Circular middle, or the origin, is going to be our position. And then the diameter is the width that we want our person to wander around. So the way we're going to go ahead and do that is I'm going to get a trigger zone. And I'm going to go ahead and put a zone size. And we're just going to use this to visualize. So wander, reach, I guess, is the best for this. So wander reach. I'm just going to plug that in here. I'm going to change this zone size to 1 meter. And the reason why I'm doing this is if we multiply 1 by 1, we're going to get 1. But if we just did directly override, you're going to get something different, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and change this. So we get a larger value, 5. I'll do like 7.5 for the maximum. That sounds about right. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead, just place this up here, just to get an accurate representation. Okay, now let's see, I think 4 or 5 is a good default area to wander in. Okay. Now you can leave this here if you want, or you could delete it. It's not really going to do anything. But we do need this for our diameter, which is then gonna do all that stuff basically. Now all we need to do is randomize. So to keep this simple, I'm just gonna get a timer, and after every 5 seconds, I guess, we're gonna go ahead and randomize a point. And that's gonna be where we want our puppet to walk to. And basically, in order to actually do that, you probably want to use another simple logic piece that I have. I did show it off in the last video I made, but because I want to get the pickup logic also done in this video, I'm going to go ahead and get the logic out instead of recreating it. It's puppet positional movement, and it basically just looks at the position that you have and it turns it into a joystick input. I'm going to go ahead and delete that because we don't need it. We just want that position. Now, if we go ahead and play, as you can see, it's kind of a little bit buggy, and what is actually causing that is we do want this. And what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to say as long as we are in a smaller distance between... Basically, we're going to find the distance between the random point, and the point that we are at currently. And if we are greater than a certain distance, we're going to go ahead and continue. So I'm going to go ahead and get a calculator, and I'm subtracting our random point and our actual position. I think this is our transform, so I want a position, not just the transform. And this is going to give us our distance, and then I'm going to go ahead and output this to a absolute value. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab another calculator. So I'm just going to copy this. And the absolute value turns negatives into positive, basically. Then I'm going to plug this into another calculator. And greater than. So as long as the distance is greater than 0.1, we're going to go ahead and continue walking. And as you can see, they do eventually stop. And the reason why it's having a hard time stopping is because the deceleration is too low, so we can turn that up higher, and they'll instantly stop. And the you can change how fast they go up and down in speed, which is great for this use case, because he was overshooting, basically, that position. He does kind of feel a little less alive now, though. So I'm going to go ahead and just up it up a little bit, because he would instantly stop. I don't think that looked very good, so... There we go. It looks a little bit better. And another thing I want to do is... I want to add... not this animation, but this animation to whenever he's walking. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Add this timeline, and I'm just going to go ahead and hook this up to our velocity. No, I think you want just running strength. There we go. That way we get some arm movement when he is running around. It's not too visible, but it's better than nothing. Alright. So now that we have like some kind of wander set up, we do want one last thing, and that would be, we're going to go ahead and instead of using this node here, we're just going to have this entire microchip turn on and off when it sees the enemy, and I think we're good for now. And I mean, this is technically the enemy, so whenever this sees the player, I mean, it's going to stop. Go ahead and upload this. And now, are these guys moving around? They are. That's one issue that I can see, is that they don't move really naturally. It's very synchronized. It's not as what you would expect it to be, basically. It's not random enough. Which I guess is fine for now. So now we want to actually get this system working. And I'm going to go ahead and do this two separate ways. I'm going to go ahead and get a HUD set up so we know how many we have. Just a simple HUD. And I'm also going to add the logic to pick them up to this character here. So I'm going to go ahead and edit our motherboard because the HUD is going to be in pretty much every scene. And if it's not, then we can do logic to turn it off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and edit the source. Yes, save creation. I'm not going to do health bar, but that will probably be next episode. What we're going to do is I'm just going to do another microchip in here. I'm just going to call HUD. Go ahead and make it white with that icon. And we're going to do a collectible pickup, or collectible display, maybe? Alright. I don't know why that is like that. There we go. And just like this. No. There we go. Okay. So now, since we already have some variables in here, got these two, pick up currency and pick up cakes. So we're just going to display those two in the upper right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and get a text displayer from our movers and output section. And I'm going to go ahead and just do some simple display, I guess. There's cotton candy. Go ahead and move this up there. I'll snap it a certain way. Like so. Don't really want the background, and I don't want the border. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn on our precise move. Alright, cotton candy and cakes. Move this down as well. There we go. Now to display it, the number, it's really simple. Really simple. Just gonna go ahead and get number displayers, which is right here. Gonna do the same stuff. Line on the right this time. Right side of the screen. No background, no border. Now this is an issue, so gonna have to turn off that. No, not for you. Only for this guy. And I'm gonna go and push it as far as I can to the right. It's not looking too good, but it's not. This is just for purposes of seeing it work, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this one for cakes up as well. And then all we need is a couple of variable modifiers. We're going to go ahead and get the value, pick up currency, and pick up cakes. There we go. Now we have part of the HUD done. I'm gonna go and save this. And return to previous creation. Why didn't you update? You're gonna have to be on auto update, my friend. Okay. And now we're gonna go ahead and edit this guy. Shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, gonna scope in, open up his logic. Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff in here, isn't there? Alright, pretty messy, but all we need to do is add a new microchip. And this is gonna be for collectible processing processor, that's fine. Give it the same icon as the motherboard and this guy. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab, where are my collections? There we go. These two. That way it makes it a little bit easier on me. Okay. So now all I need to do is grab couple of trigger zones here. Well, gonna have to change that position to be where the player is. Like so. I'm gonna shrink it a little bit. And now I'm gonna go ahead and name these. I'm also gonna change it to tag, not player, but pick up cake, and also pick up cotton candy. Now this is really easy, I believe. All we need to do, I'm gonna go and grab the motherboard as well, because we actually need it. And all we need to do is just simply increase the count by 1. So add 1 to pick up cake. And add 1 to pick up currency. Now, hopefully, I want to say that we should probably put in signal manipulators in here for pulse on input on. There's also the chance that these guys over here, I want this to turn off when it's picked up. So, is that what this does? It does turn this off. Good. Not that dumb. Alright, now just gotta delete those things that I used for reference. And now we have collectibles. Now all I gotta do is save this. And let's return to the previous creation. Alright. Now I can go ahead and just copy a bunch of these everywhere. And we'll see how it works. No, I don't want to grab that. But I do want to grab this. Alright. And there's gonna be a cake behind these guys. If all goes well, it should just count up. Like it should. Like a nice good boy. Alright. He disappeared. That was fast. Okay. Okay, what's going on? How come these aren't being detected? Oh. You know what? Is this turned off now? It was, okay. So, copying that one was not a very good idea, apparently. So, all we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and just grab the new ones then, because apparently I'm going to have to do that. Got to place it by hand, which is fine. I don't have a problem doing this. It's just tedious. And I'm gonna go get that cake. There we go. Now let's try this. There we go. And it didn't work at all. What's going on? Did it not update the player? Now that I undid everything, did it not update the player? No, it did. Add one. Pick up cake. Well then, what is happening? Because it couldn't. Okay. Honestly, I don't know what's happening. It should be working. I'm not sure why it's not working. Pick up cakes, cotton candy, number displayer. This is strange. I mean, it was working until I undid everything. I think this just has to be a weird dreams bug, doesn't it? Let me do this. It does come on. Then why isn't it working? Is the pulse just too fast? I don't get it. Also, that's really weird. Is that because of test mode? Also, the cake is not happy with me. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just restart this scene, I guess. And if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna go ahead and try making it so that we don't have pulse on that. I mean, it was working. I don't know why it stopped working. So I'm gonna just save the scene, exit the scene, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just edit this guy to unload that other scene from memory. Then edit this. No, I'm gonna play it actually. And it's still not working. And also, not to mention that the pickups are completely broken. So I'm gonna go and edit this guy. Let's hope that just doing this is good enough. Because it's when powered on, operation value add 1, so it's like, this should work. I don't know why it doesn't work. And then, let's see here. Do I have the pickups? I don't think I do. My asset updated. This doesn't make any sense. Dreams, what are you doing? Dreams, are you kidding me? It's almost like you want to embarrass me. Pick up cake. Yes, I know. Pick up cakes. Okay, you know what? I think that for some reason these are broken. So if this didn't work, then I'm pretty sure just these modifiers are broken. Nope. Okay, apparently those were the wrong words, or it did not like those words, so... Bye-bye, cake. I think that's a bug with variable modifiers where they can lose the intended value. So what is happening? Why are they like snapping backwards? I don't get it. Their missiles need to have their homing time turned down. Oh geez, that one just disappeared really fast. There are a lot of bugs that I was unaware of. There's still this floating bug. I don't even know how to fix, like, things that were not on the ground for some reason, even though we are. Maybe it's the animation? I don't know. But I know it's a bug. Very weird, and we've only been recording for 30 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and try to fix a few of these bugs. First off, I'm going to go and save what we have. And after a few seconds, I wanted these guys to just disappear, so I don't know what's wrong with you. Let's see, edit source. And let's see. Turned on the floor. Let's pick up. I'm gonna go ahead and artificially pick it up. Why does that work? Why does that work? Is it because the switch is kept on? Yes, that is the issue. Okay. So, I can't believe I did this, but I forgot to set this timeline to play once. There we go. That should fix that issue. I'm not sure about it snapping all over the place, though. I'm not sure how to fix that. Also, the cake needs a sound effect, I noticed. Alright, previous... And then the cake... I guess save it. And this should be a group as well. Pick up cake. Timeline. Is this... This is play once, so this does need a timer. Not a timer, but a sound effect. So we'll go to sound mode. And we'll search for sound. Not that. Gaming, positive power-ups. I like this. Alright. So theoretically, this is supposed to move up after it's activated. And it's supposed to kill itself. So, let's see if it works as intended. Because previously, it was just like going off into space like that. I don't know what's up with that. Okay. Yeah? Oh, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't kill itself because it is hooked up in a way where it expects itself to kill itself with a variable. And I know we don't have that, so I'm going to add a contingency in here where it'll destroy itself after an extra second or so. Not value slider, but switch. And it's gone. Okay, good. So that should help. Cake pickup updated. Okay. So let's see how they act now. That one still flies off into space for some reason. That works as intended. That flies off into space. That flies off into space. That also flies off into space. What is... What? Where are they going? That's so weird. What is happening? What? That is the weirdest bug I've ever seen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save this creation. And I want to try to fix that. I'm not sure if I can, but I will try. I think I have an idea of what it might be. This isn't local space, it has to go up. So I have no idea how that one's drifting. I have no idea any of them are drifting. Like, come on, they're supposed to go up. That's fine, but what if I move it around like this? You know what? I've run into this bug before. Okay. So, it is rotating fine. However, once it becomes animated, it's rotating around the original point or the origin of... I don't know. I think... I think the way I can fix this, hopefully I can fix this way, is I'm going to go ahead and scope in, take this out, delete these wires. Okay, so this is a group now. I want to go ahead and add in our friend, Mr. Cube. Just make a really small cube. And I'm going to go ahead and group these two buddies together after I make this not visible, ignore gravity, no weight. That is such a weird bug, and I'm pretty sure it's an MM thing that they have to fix, but I don't think they will. Shh, don't tell them I said that. Okay. Now let's see how. Okay, so that works. And what happens if we manually trigger, that works. Okay, and what happens if I move it away? And it still works. Great. So that's that issue solved. I think when I made these pickups, I thought that would be good enough to have the microchip grouped in with it, but I think that just made it even more buggier than the original bug thing that I was talking about with it. So, yeah. Now it is much, much better. I fixed it. But I'm gonna have to do the same thing for the cotton candy, and I don't know if it's gonna be as easy. It probably is, but it's also gonna be annoying because it's just the same thing. Okay, a small tiny cube. That's a good spot for you. And also, you know, just gotta turn off collisions, all that good jazz. I've gone like much longer into this video than I actually wanted to because of the stupid bug here. Alright, I think that should be the only change that we need to do. And now let's see what happens when we play. Other than this. Ouch. Yay, it's not buggy anymore. I completely missed that one. Let's get that cake. Okay, that one's still a little bit buggy, apparently. I mean, it wasn't as bad as before, the cake, but... Did I get them all? Cool. Give me the cake. I don't understand how that bug works, but it's definitely a bug, and it's not anything to do with the logic. I fixed it to the best of my ability. The workaround. So an okay workaround. Okay. Well, yeah, that was all that I wanted to do in this video. So, I hope you all enjoyed it, but I know most of it was just bug fixing. We also had a little bit of a laugh with the pickups going all over the place, but hey, you know, that's better than not laughing, I guess. But yeah, I think in the next video, I think I might try to fix the hovering issue with this guy. And then I want to do like the main villain and maybe possibly do a cutscene. I think that's pushing it a little bit, but because we need to sculpt the main villain, and I think the last time I sculpted, you guys didn't want me to fast forward through it anymore, so I think we will do whatever we can in the next video, but it is gonna be coming. So hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I also got a Patreon if you want to go ahead and do that. I am going to start doing early access, as in, like, uploading videos, having them visible only on Patreon for a day, and then the day after, the exclusivity I'll go ahead and list it publicly on YouTube. And this is the first video I'm going to go ahead and do that with. So if you're watching this on Patreon, I want to thank you personally. Thank you very much for being patron. And I'm going to end up doing even more stuff on Patreon at some point. I'm going to be posting stuff that I only post there and in the Discord that is connected to the Patreon. So if you guys are interested in that, the link is in the description. Don't forget to comment your ideas for tutorial or anything like that. Hope you all have a great day. Bye. Bye.